Have you ever felt like a candle burning at both ends? Giving, 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 until there's nothing left but a flicker. You're not alone. Today we're diving into the ancient wisdom that can save you from burning out while teaching you to shine even brighter. Welcome, warriors of the modern world. You're here because you're different. You care deeply, give freely, and often wonder if you're doing enough. But here's the truth bomb. Caring for others at the expense of yourself isn't nobility. It's a recipe for disaster. Today we're exploring the delicate art of balancing kindness with self-care. We'll tap into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and see how these ancient principles can revolutionize your life in today's chaotic world. The problem of overgiving. Picture this. You're holding a cup. This cup represents your energy, your time, your very essence. Now imagine constantly pouring from this cup to fill others. Friends, family, colleagues. They all come to you with their empty cups, and without hesitation you pour and pour and pour. Feels good, doesn't it? Being the one people rely on, the rock in the storm. But here's the kicker. What happens when your cup runs dry? When you reach for that last drop of energy and find nothing? This, my friends, is the difficult path of overgiving. It's a trap that ensnares the best of us. We sacrifice sleep, self-care, and sanity on the altar of other people's needs. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, thinking it proves our worth. But let me tell you some truths. Constant self-sacrifice isn't sustainable and is not even truly helpful. When we're running on empty, the quality of our help diminishes. We become irritable, resentful, and even bitter. Is that the version of yourself you want to offer the world? This is where the Stoics step in with their timeless wisdom. Epictetus, a formerly enslaved person turned philosopher, said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." In other words, true strength isn't about giving everything away. It's about recognizing and appreciating your resources and using them wisely. The Stoics understood that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. They knew that we must be truly helpful and kind to ensure our cup is full. So ask yourself, how full is your cup right now? Are you pouring from a place of abundance? Or are you scraping the bottom, giving others nothing but the dried remnants of your former vitality? It's time to flip the script, learn the art of sustainable giving, and discover how setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care can actually make you more generous, impactful, and infinitely more fulfilled. The garden analogy. Picture two gardens side by side. One is a lush paradise bursting with vibrant flowers and ripe fruit. The other is withered, overgrown with weeds, barely clinging to life. Now ask yourself, which gardener has more to offer their community? This, my friends, is the essence of Stoic self-care. Tending your garden first is not selfish, it's necessary. It enables you to truly help others in a sustainable way. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." Your self-care isn't an obstacle to generosity. It's the very path to sustainable kindness. By nurturing your well-being, you create an abundance from which to give. You're not depleting yourself, but sharing your overflow. This is the Stoic perspective on sustainable help. Think about it. A thriving garden doesn't just feed its owner. It provides beauty for passers-by, shelter for wildlife, and harvest to share with neighbors. It becomes a source of inspiration and nourishment for the entire community. So, I challenge you. Be that garden. Cultivate your strengths, nourish your mind, tend to your emotional health, Create a wellspring of vitality that naturally overflows to those around you. Remember, in taking care of yourself, you're not just serving your interests. You're preparing yourself to serve others more effectively, more joyfully, and for the long haul. True generosity. Now, let's dive into the heart of true generosity. Not the kind that leaves you drained and resentful, but the kind that fills you up and lights you from within. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, taught that actual giving comes without expectation of return. It's not a transaction or a debt to be repaid. It's a pure expression of your values and your humanity. When you give without strings attached, something magical happens. You tap into a wellspring of joy beyond the fleeting pleasure of receiving gratitude or recognition. The act itself becomes the reward. Modern psychology backs this up. Studies show that selfless giving activates the pleasure centers in our brain, reduces stress, and increases overall well-being. But here's the crucial part. This only works when the giving is voluntary, not compelled by guilt or obligation. So, I want you to ask yourself, are you giving because you genuinely want to, or because you think you should? Are you seeking validation and approval, or expressing your deepest values? True generosity isn't about quantity. It's not about who gives the most time, money, or energy. It's about quality. It's about giving from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Here's a practice for you. Next time you have the opportunity to give, do it anonymously. Whether it's a kind deed, a donation, or a helping hand, do it without anyone knowing it was you. Feel the difference when you give without any possibility of recognition or return. That's the power of true generosity. By embracing this Stoic principle, you'll find that generosity becomes not a duty, but a source of profound fulfillment. You'll give not because you must, but because you can't imagine doing otherwise. The art of saying no. We've talked about giving. Now let's tackle one of the most crucial skills in your Stoic toolkit, the art of saying no. Epictetus, who rose from enslaved person to revered philosopher, wisely noted, "If you don't wish to be a hothead, don't feed your habit. Try as a first step to remain calm and count the days you haven't been angry." Now, replace angry with overwhelmed, and you've got a powerful Stoic technique for boundary setting. It's about recognizing what feeds your stress and consciously choosing not to indulge it. Saying no isn't about being selfish or unkind. It's about being honest with yourself and others. It's about recognizing your limits and honoring them. It's an act of integrity. Consider this story. A young apprentice took on every task his master gave him, never refusing. He worked tirelessly, impressing everyone with his dedication. But when a crucial project came, he was too exhausted to complete it effectively. The master said, "In trying to do everything, you fail to do what truly matters. This is the pitfall of excessive help. By saying yes to everything, we dilute our ability to make a real impact where it counts. We spread ourselves too thin, and everyone loses." So I challenge you to practice discernment. Before you say yes to any request, ask yourself, is this aligned with my values? Can I give this my best effort? Will this leave me with enough energy for my true priorities? Remember, every yes is implicitly a no to something else. When you say yes to staying late at work, you might say no to quality time with your family. When you say yes to a friend's every request, you might say no to your needs. Choose wisely. Your time and energy are precious resources. Allocate them with the same care you'd give to any valuable asset. You're not closing yourself off from the world. By mastering the art of saying no, you're opening yourself up to saying a wholehearted yes to what truly matters. This is the path to living with purpose and impact, the very essence of Stoic wisdom. Finding balance. Now, let's tackle the art of balance, a concept as old as philosophy, yet as relevant as your last notification. Though not a Stoic, Aristotle gave us the golden mean, the sweet spot between extremes. In our context, it balances selfless giving and rigid self-protection. Imagine a tightrope walker. Lean too far in either direction, and you'll fall. The key is the constant mindful adjustment. Here's how to apply this wisdom. First, conduct a life audit. List your commitments, your goals, and your daily activities. Now, ruthlessly categorize them. What fills you up and what drains you? What aligns with your values and what's just noise? Next, embrace the power of hell yeah or no. When faced with a request or opportunity, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. This simple rule can transform your life, freeing up energy for what truly matters. But balance isn't just about managing external demands. It's about internal harmony, too. The Stoics taught ataraxia, the tranquility of the soul. Cultivate this through daily reflection. Ask yourself, am I living by my values? Am I growing or just going through the motions? Remember, balance isn't a destination, it's a journey. You'll wobble and sometimes fall. The key is to keep adjusting and keep learning. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Find joy in the process of creating balance. Celebrate small wins. Learn from missteps. By mastering this balance, you're improving your life and setting an example for others. You're showing that being kind, successful, and at peace is possible. This, my friends, is practical wisdom in action. Self-respect and boundaries. Let's dive deep into a concept that can revolutionize your life: the transformative power of self-respect and boundaries. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the cornerstone of setting healthy boundaries. Understand this. Boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to healthier relationships with others and yourself. Here's your action plan. 1. Define your non-negotiables. What are your core values? What behaviors will you not tolerate? Write them down. Make them real. 2. Communicate clearly. No hints, no passive aggression. State your boundaries with calm confidence. Remember, you're not asking for permission, you're stating a fact. 3. Prepare for pushback. When you start setting boundaries, some people won't like it. That's okay. Their reaction is about them, not you. 4. Practice self-compassion. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first. Be kind to yourself as you learn and grow. 5. Celebrate small wins. Each time you honor your boundaries, you're building self-respect. Acknowledge that. Now, let's address a common fear. Won't setting boundaries make me selfish? Absolutely not. Healthy boundaries make you a better friend, partner, and colleague. Why? Because you're showing up as your authentic self, not a resentful, burnt-out shell. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Most of the negative consequences we fear from setting boundaries never materialize. Instead, we gain respect from others and ourselves. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. By respecting yourself enough to set and maintain boundaries, you're creating a template for all your relationships. You're not just changing your life, but influencing your entire social ecosystem. This is true strength. This is genuine kindness. This is the path to becoming the best version of yourself. The ripple effect. Now, let's explore one of the most potent concepts in personal development, the ripple effect of self-improvement. Imagine dropping a stone into a still pond. The ripples spread outward, affecting the entire surface. That's what happens when you start prioritizing self-care and setting healthy boundaries. Pema Chodron understood this when he wrote, "What you do for yourself, any gesture of kindness, any gesture of gentleness, any gesture of honesty and clear seeing toward yourself will affect how you experience your world." Let's break this down. 1. Modeling behavior. When you respect your boundaries, you teach others to do the same. Your actions speak louder than words. 2. Increased capacity. By taking care of yourself, you have more to give to others, and your generosity becomes sustainable. 3. Authenticity. When you're true to yourself, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. 4. Improved relationships. Clear boundaries lead to more transparent communication and deeper connections. 5. Positive energy. Self-care isn't selfish. It's a way of bringing your best self to every interaction. Here's a challenge for you. For the next week, commit to one daily act of self-care and one instance of setting a clear boundary. Notice how it affects your interactions. Notice how people respond to the more authentic, energized you. You might face resistance at first. Change can be uncomfortable for you and others, but stay the course. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Remember, you're not just changing your life, you're creating a new standard for your community. You're showing that it's possible to be kind without being a doormat, and successful without burning out. This is how real change happens, not through grand gestures, but through consistent, authentic living. One person at a time, creating ripples that eventually become waves. You have more influence than you realize. Your journey toward balance and self-respect can be the catalyst someone else needs to start their journey. So, I ask you, are you ready to create those ripples? Are you prepared to be the change you want to see in your world? The choice is yours and the time is now. Call to action. Remember, as Theodore Roosevelt said, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. You are that man in the arena. You're not just surviving this chaotic world. You're learning to thrive in it. You're becoming the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. This path isn't for the faint of heart. It demands courage, discipline, and unwavering commitment. But the rewards? They're beyond measure. As you step out into the world armed with these Stoic principles, know this: you're not just changing yourself. You're becoming a beacon of strength for others, a rock in the storm. Jocko Willink, a modern Stoic warrior, puts it bluntly: discipline equals freedom. Your newfound self-discipline, boundaries, and self-respect are the tools that will set you free. So here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. 1. Take action today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, now. 2. Embrace discomfort. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. 3. Lead by example. Be the change you want to see in the world. Remember, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. So stop imagining and start doing. You've got this. We believe in you. The Stoic community has your back. Now go out there and show the world what true strength looks like. Not just physical strength, but mental toughness, emotional resilience, and unshakable integrity. This is your moment. Seize it. And if you're hungry for more wisdom, challenges, and growth, you know where to find us. The Stoic community is always here, ready to fuel your journey to greatness. Stay strong, stay stoic, and never ever give up on becoming the best version of yourself.